Before I begin, let me just tell you there's a detailed summary of the complete build in the description, in case you don't feel like watching a long-ass video. I don't know why you wouldn't though, because it's awesome. Melisandre is a priestess of R'hllor, a monotheistic god of fire and light. Her true motives are unknown, but she comes to Westeros to serve as an advisor to Stannis Baratheon, brother of the dead King Robert. Her advice is largely based on visions she sees in the flames, and often involves burning something, or someone. Our first step in this build is to decide what race suits her best. The books describe her as pale, with flowing red hair. The Lord of Light protects her in many ways, but most notable among them is a total immunity to cold. For this reason, Nord is our best choice. She's also immune to poisons, but we'll get back to that. In an effort to mimic her storyline, the first step is to activate the Mage Stone and begin heading toward the Mage's College. It's here that we'll begin her training. Obviously, her main skill will be the manipulation of fire. The use and mastery of fire-based destruction magic will be central to this build. Her secondary and utility skills require a bit of explanation, though. Throughout the series, we see Melisandre and her fellow priest, Thoros of Myr, do more than just stare into fires. She invokes sexy rituals to bring forth shadows which smite her foes. Thoros performs some not-so-sexy last rites, and is surprised to find that it revives the dead. And as Lovecraft would tell you, any god with an apostrophe in his name loves a good sacrifice. Summoning shadows and revenants and trapping souls all fall under her secondary skill, conjuration. But let me tell you a little bit about the Church of R'hllor for a second. The messianic figure in this weirdly monotheistic religion is a guy named Azor Ahai. He was a legendary hero who lived about 8,000 years before Aegon's Landing, who rose up and defeated the others wielding a fiery sword called Lightbringer. According to legend, to forge that sword, he worked on it for 100 days and nights, and when it was finished, he tempered the blade in his wife's living heart, thus infusing the steel with her soul. Melisandre achieves an enchantment as well, drawing a sword from a pyre of religious relics, infusing it with magical light. And since we're already going around trapping souls, we may as well use them to grind up her utility skill, Enchantment. Nobody likes to grind a skill, but here are a few pointers for enchantment. First, enchanting with petty souls gives as much skill experience as grand souls would. Second, every teacher in the Mage's College has soul gems for sale. Since we're already trapping souls, we don't need to buy filled gems. And third, learning a new enchantment grants a lot of skill experience. Before you go selling all your magic artifacts, check to see if you have the enchantment first. Once we get to level 20, a courier will approach us with an invitation to a new museum. This quest is how we're going to get our R'hllor red robes. Upon completing the quest, we can take the curator's Mythic Dawn gear, or if you'd rather have the hooded version, you can steal them directly from the museum. Enchantments that supplement Melisandre best are Fortify Magicka, Destruction, Conjuration, and Frost Resistance, but there's one more thing we're going to need to round out her equipment. Melisandre is immune to poison, as we see in her very first scene in the books. We can't enchant a single item to have 100% poison resistance, but we can find one eventually. Poison immunity is a rare necklace affix, and it's our goal to find one that uses the gold ruby model. Now that we have our Mythic Dawn gear and we've finished the Mage's College, we're graduated from Priestess School. It's time to sign up with our local royal usurper, Ulfric Stormcloak. After that, for those of you who aren't big readers, Melisandre goes to the Wall, which is a towering structure housing an army in black who is sworn to defend the realms of men from the undead. And wouldn't you know it, they're weak against fire. Skyrim has that too, only instead of being the Night's Watch, they go by a totally different name, the Dawn Guard. Totally different. And that sums up my path for Melisandre of Asshai. I hope you enjoy serving the Lord of Light. Stay tuned for the next video in this series, a build for Lord Varys. Thanks for watching.